When I left the Netherlands, it was very easy. I let a lot of people behind. It was very simple. All those who judged me for taking the decision to leave Holland and to go to Romania, I haven't heard from them. Yeah, maybe from one or two for my birthday, once, maybe twice. I left 3 years ago. But yeah, that's it. And it's fine by me. Because now I have more people around me who are actually talking from their hearts. Who don't care which decision I take. Okay, if I decide to murder somebody, they will care. But they know that I take the best decision that I can take today with all the tools and knowledge I have. And what's best for me may not be best for them, and vice versa. And they respect that. Because they know by experience that we all have different needs, we all are different. And there is not one rule that applies to all in an absolute way. Yes, there are some fundamental rules like respecting everyone and everything around you, including yourself. But not in which decisions to take and when to do this, how to lead your life. There are many ways of leading your life, and I already posted about there's no good, there's no bad, because there's no light without darkness and there's no darkness without light. It's all connected. Everything that's happening in the world is connected. Everything is happening for a very good reason. Some people are very angry at the politicians in their country. Maybe you should have voted. Or voted on a better person. Or stood up yourself to be voted on. Or at least joined a movement. Or created a party. It's very easy to point at other people. Oh, bad, 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 bad. Very easy. And I personally believe that when situations escalate and get really bad, it is because people didn't act. So, as long as you're not acting, people will keep stepping on your head, and they will step more, and more people will come to step on your head, and at a certain moment you will be really suffering. Why? Because you didn't say stop from the beginning, or halfway. And all the conflicts in the world, all the crazy situations that are happening, people dying of starvation in certain countries while other people are super rich, it's because long ago people didn't stand up. And sometimes it becomes more and more difficult to actually act. And I know a lot of people come with all kinds of excuses why they could not have done anything. Well, look at Nelson Mandela. He resisted for 25, 30 years that he was in prison, and he didn't become a bad person. He came out a humble, gentle person who wanted to make peace with his captors and peace in the country. And he managed to change a lot. South Africa is not a perfect country now, but it's much better than it used to be. Thanks to somebody like Mandela. People could have said like, hey, what can a guy do who has been in prison for so long? Well, you saw it. I've seen countries after 50 years of dictatorship starting a revolution and literally having the dictator running out of the country, he and his family. They didn't need many weapons for that. Actually, they didn't use weapons. They just went into the streets and said no more. So it's time that you really stand up for yourself. Listen and feel what is it you need. When I say listen, listen to your heart, listen to your soul, listen to that voice that's inside you, listen to your body. Your body's telling you what you need. And that's how you start to change your life. That's how things start to go up like this. And when I went out and I talked with these two friends, and then I was on the phone, and then I met with them, things started to change, things improved. My energy levels went high up. And now I'm doing things differently, based on my new experiences, based on the new knowledge I gathered, based on the insights I got and based on the opportunities that got created from me reaching out. Because a lot of people don't reach out, they don't ask for help, and they just stay in that circle and they complain and they complain, and my boss is so bad, oh the company is so shitty, oh my colleagues they're nasty, and they just keep going around and they don't act. Or I get so much work and they always keep giving me more. Okay, then say stop. No, I cannot say that because this is so important, it needs to be done. And oh, are you owning the company? Are you personally responsible for the clients? I guess somebody else is. And if somebody responsible is coming to you and says, hey, I want you to do this thing now. Okay, what can I leave then? Because I already have this mountain of work and you want me to do that thing, so that's going to cost me 4 hours. So 4 hours of work here have to be taken over by something. And you can tell me now which one. I don't know, I want you to do this and then, no, sorry, hey, I'm not going to stay till midnight. It's very simple. You tell your boss, you make the choice. What do I drop right now? If you want me to do this thing right now, what do I drop right now? And you ask for it in writing, on email. So you have proof that you cannot come later, how could you have blown this case and then I was so bad, and hey, you told me to drop that because you had that thing that was so important. And this is happening constantly in large corporations and even smaller companies. You wait till the problem is almost exploding and then, now it's super urgent. That's what you see. And then everything is always super urgent because people are not taking their job seriously. People are not taking their clients seriously. People are not taking anything seriously. Because people are not motivated. People are just in a job to pay the bills. And there is nothing worse than actually being a slave of the bank. If you only have the job to pay the bills, then you're not living, you're simply surviving. And you need to ask yourself, how long do I want to keep doing this? Because saying until your pension, a lot of people did that to realize that there was no pension money, or that their pension was so little they still had to work to still pay the bills. So it's time to change something. And if at least 25% of the people say to their bosses, hey, stop, you want me to do that thing right now? Tell me what I can drop right now. Just to give ownership and responsibility back to the people who own it. And that's you also taking responsibility of your own life, of your own well-being. If you don't start there, then you deserve to suffer. Because nobody will come and solve everything for you, even if you will win the lottery. Because if you never stood up for yourself, even being a millionaire or a billionaire, people will screw you over. Especially if you're rich. Then the parasites will come from everywhere. All those, I'm your friend. Taking your money, taking your stuff. You need to get up. Stand up for yourself. Start respecting yourself like you respect the people around you. And say stop to people. You don't need to do it aggressively at first. You just say, hey, you show. I had this experience. I had a team leader a supervisor who, I don't know. I will just not describe the person. But this supervisor was not happy with me not finishing certain things. And I was like, hey, this is too much. How can this be too much? Blah, 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 blah. Look at your colleague, what he's doing. And the guy was working every evening from home as well. And I was like, sorry, you're paying me to be here 40 hours a week. So I will work 42 hours maybe 43, but then that's it. And it started to escalate. So I created an Excel sheet and put all my tasks in it and how many hours it was taking to actually finish all those tasks. The result? Working 40 hours, total tasks 80 hours. 80 hours. I was supposed to do the work of 80 hours in 40 hours. Yeah, that was when my supervisor shut up at that moment and started dumping half of my tasks on the desk of my colleague, who was like, okay, boss, okay, I'll do it. I was looking like, seriously? You said that? Okay, your lesson to learn. Probably you need to drown first before you wake up and say, hey, come on. And yeah, the situation already had escalated then, and I was like, this is not healthy. So then another opportunity came, and I was like, okay guys, bye. A few weeks later, get a call. Hey, how are you? Good, good. Hey, they're hired. 2 new people. What? Yes, 2 people to replace you. Oh, a few months later, I heard there were actually 3 people doing my work. I was like, wow. So I was getting a big mouth from my supervisor for not finishing everything in time. And now they had hired 3 people to replace just me. Wow. But I had to say bye and go. And then things started to change there because they realized I could not do it. And also my colleague apparently, he also said like, hey, this is too much. When I go home, I actually want to be with my wife, not just working. And maybe he didn't even know how to do the things I was doing because I was doing some specialized work. So yeah. And I personally know people who are in exactly these situations where they have mountains of work and the bosses are just dumping more on their plates and expecting them to finish it. And sorry, yeah, no, there's no budget, and you have to do it. Yeah, you cannot drop this because that will be catastrophic. And just put all the responsibility and the guilt on the employees, actually on the lowest level of employees. And they're getting the bonuses when the targets are reached, and the lowest level employees are just sweating and suffering like hell. But it's their own fault because they never said stop, so people keep dumping. They never said no. If you do not know how to say no, and only can say yes and try to please, won't happen. So a few years later, when I had a new job interview, and I had learned my lessons, the job interview went differently. I sat down and the guy asked me if I had questions, and he described a little bit what I had to do, and I said, okay, I would do it like this and that and that, and okay, what would you like to say about yourself, to tell about yourself? I was like, okay, I'm lazy. So he looked, and the HR director looked like, huh? I said, yes, but in a good way. Because I'm not in the mood to spend unnecessary time on doing things, I will set up the system in the most efficient possible way. So that will probably cut my work in half. And then I have time to do other things. And yeah, even if I'm not there because I was going to work 3-4 days a week, yeah, things will still be rolling. And everyone can pick up from where I left, and there will be no problem. And the guy looked and was like, I like that. And I also told him like, yep, and one of the conditions is that I'm not working on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I'm working on myself, on my coaching practice, and I'm studying. So these days they're off limit, and evenings are my time off to rest. So don't ask me to work during these days, and don't expect me to do systematic overtime, because if there is systematic overtime needed, it means things are not structured well, and I will not pay with my free time for you not knowing how to manage the department. Makes sense, right? The guy looked at me and was like, makes total sense, totally agree with you. And the HR director was still looking like, what? I was like, yeah, if he will not accept that, then I'm not going to take this job, because I'm not going to eat shit again. I had been eating shit for over a decade before that, so I was like, that's it. And the guy was very happy. And once I started, he left, and another guy came in his place, and so I was like, how will that go? So I just sat down with the guy and I told him like, hey, What do you know about me? Yeah, not much. I just have a report here, and yeah, I'm just starting to get to know the place myself. Okay, good. What you need to know about me? Tack, 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 tack. And oh, one of the things also said was like, I will give you straightforward feedback. I will tell you when I need help, and when you don't hear me, it means I don't need help, so you don't need to worry about me. And oh, he was very happy with that. Ah, good, independent guy, super. And yeah, that's how we worked. We worked very well together. If there was something, I would go to his desk and he knew that he had to pay attention because then I really needed his help because I could not solve something by myself. And if he wouldn't hear from me, it meant things were just rolling. And yeah, I didn't make overtime. I didn't work on weekends. Okay, I went once on a Friday because there was a special training. It was yeah, there were people coming from all around the globe to help us and train us on such stuff. So I changed my day off from the Friday to another day so I could be there. And okay, that was it. Oh yeah, they were doing Friday, Saturday. I was like, no, Saturday, no. That was definitely off limits. And they accepted. And they even prolonged my contract afterwards. Because I was delivering good quality, on time. And that's why I also could say no if they were coming with crap. And this does not only apply in work, this applies in your private life, with your friends, with your family, with your partner, with your kids. How many parents are not managing their kids properly? Yes, being a leader, being a manager is something you're born with. And otherwise you can learn skills and that's going to be tough on you. Because if you don't really have the leadership inside you, if you were not born with it, if it's not in your genes, it's going to be difficult. But you can learn a lot of things. And one of the things is to say stop and ho, and to feel what is good, what is not good for me. And kids who are constantly pushing the limits are just looking for the limits because they see that, hey, daddy, mommy doesn't have limits. That's strange. Let's go further. Let's go further. And often parents are like, ah, yeah, it's okay, I'm tired, I'm not in the mood to. No! You need to be systematic and consequent. You cannot say one day this, one day that, because kids don't understand. Adults already have big trouble understanding the difference between like, okay, I'm letting you go this time, I will not say anything, and between like, you actually don't care. No. Sometimes you make a mistake or you do something and your boss is like, okay, it's clear, I shouldn't have. Doesn't mean that the next time you can do it again because he didn't come and shoot you down. No. But with kids, no, they're learning. And they will try out everything. They will test you to the limits. So it's very simple. You need to be clear and structured. So, recapitulating. Stand up for yourself. Respect yourself. Listen to what you need. Feel what you need and act on it. Nobody can judge you for what you feel. And your life quality will go up. See you in the next video.